For stage 3, we're going to be working with multiple artboards to save multiple versions of this logo. To get started, I'm going to hit Command and 0 so I can see the whole thing. Then let's go up to Select All. This will get everything that's in our layers. And let's move this logo to about 1/8 of an inch from the top and bottom side. If we go to our Properties panel, I've got mine already opened, choose the top right reference point and set your X value to be 0.125 and your Y value to be 0.125. When you do that, you can see it's moved to the top of your screen. Now let's make it much larger. If we go back to our Properties panel, make sure the little link is turned on, and when we type in 250%, 250 and then the percentage sign into one of these, it automatically adjusts the height as well as the width, and so it should look something like this. Now we want our artboard to match roughly the size of our artwork that's on it. There's a tool at the bottom of your toolbox called the Artboard tool. With this tool selected, you can see our artboard gets a bounding box around it, and we can click on the very bottom right edge and drag it up until there's about 1/8 of an inch on either side of your artwork. Again, it doesn't have to be 100% accurate or perfect, but this is essentially what we're looking for. To get out of the editing mode for the artboard, simply choose your selection tool again and it goes back to normal editing mode. This is a good time to save it, so let's go to File and Save and continue to the next part of our review exercise. Now let's do a little bit of organization. We can go to Select All, and this will select everything that's on our artboard, and we'll go to Object and Group. Now remember, when we do this, if you look at your Layers panel, this is going to take everything that's on both layers and put it into one large layer. We can rename the type layer by double-clicking on it, and this is going to be our 4-color lemon or logo. Hit Return. We'll make it a little bit larger so I can see what we're typing out. Since we're going to have multiple versions of it, we want each version to have its own individual layer. Next, we can select this lemon layer. Let's hit the Delete key and delete that one away since there's nothing on that layer. Now, to avoid some confusion for this next section, I'm going to drag out my Layers panel so that's on its own, and let's go to Window and open up our Artboards panel. With both of these side by side, we'll be able to distinguish where our artwork is on its layer and also what artboard it's placed on. With that done, let's grab our Artboard tool, and the first thing we can do is to go to the very top and let's rename Artboard 1 to 4 color. We also want to make sure that this option is checked on. With this checked on, whenever we move our artboard or make a copy of it, the artwork will also be moved or copied. Hold down the Option key as you click on the artboard and drag down, and this will create a new artboard. Let go of your mouse first, and it also copies all of the artwork. Check out our Artboards panel. Now we've got 4-color copy added to it. The first thing we need to do is to rename this. We'll call this 2-color. Hit Return. And the second thing we need to do is to adjust our layers. Notice that even though we copied the 4-color logo, it's still inside of its own layer, even though there's 2 different artboards. So choose your selection tool. We're going to highlight everything that's on the second artboard, so just that second Cafe Lemon logo. And when we go to our layers, let's make a new layer. We're going to click on the little red indicator, so it indicates everything that's selected, and drag it up to layer 2. Now all of our new copy is in layer 2, and we'll call this the 2-color logo. Hit Return. Now we've got 2 separate layers and 2 separate artboards. And this second artboard we're going to use to convert this from a 4-color process logo to a nice 2-color spot color logo. To convert mesh objects into regular paths, let's go to our Layers panel. First, you can see we're working on the second artboard, but if we expand the 2-color logo, let's keep expanding it till we see the mesh of the lemon that we have. and we can click on the little rounded icon to select only the lemon. With that done, let's add a stroke around this. To do this, we can go to Window and choose Appearance. This Appearance panel is very powerful because it gives you the ability to add and change up the appearance of any object that you have. For instance, I don't see a stroke outline around this mesh object, so to add a stroke, we can click on this bottom left-hand corner to add a new stroke, and it gives us a default black outline. Second, we want to be able to get rid of just the mesh and keep the stroke, so we need to expand it and separate it. With the mesh still selected, go to Object and Expand Appearance. Now check out what we've got in our Layers panel. You should have a group for your lemon. When you expand it, has a path and also the mesh. So to get rid of the mesh, click on the mesh layer and also click on the little object to select only that layer, and then click Delete. And this will delete away that mesh, leaving only the black outline. Since that path is the only thing in the group, let's select the path, and then we can go up to, go up to Object, and we can ungroup it, and it turns into its own path by itself. To add the spot color to our two-color logo, first make sure your lemon is still selected, go under the Appearance panel and choose the Fill. Now we can add the Pantone color by going to Window, down to your swatch libraries at the very bottom, choose Color Books, and the book we want to use is Pantone Solid Coated. With this panel open, you can see there's a lot of different colors to pick and choose from. To make it easier to see the colors, you can choose the options and then click on Small List View. You can see all of the different numbers. And you can also type in the specific number you want. In our case, we want to type in 102. With the Fill option selected, you can double-click Pantone 102, and that automatically fills in that particular color of yellow into our lemon. We can close this out. With the lemon still selected, let's set our stroke to be None, and that'll give us just the lemon as that color. Whenever you add a spot color to your artwork, you can open up your swatches and you can see that spot color has been added to our swatch with a little dot at the bottom of the global color. This means that it's a spot color and we can reuse it over and over again. The last thing we need to do is to select the leaf and turn it into a black outline. To do this, let's go back to our Layers panel and I'll scroll up to find the path for the leaf. There it is there. And I'm going to select here to select it. Then we can go into our Appearance panel. I'll zoom in so we can see this. And with the leaf selected, set the stroke to be black and to be 2 points thick. And let's set our fill color to be None. With that done, we're now finished up with the two-color logo. The last thing we need to do is to create a one-color version of the logo. So I'm going to go back to my layers, scroll to the top, let's collapse this. Remember to make a copy of an artboard. Choose your artboard tool, hold down your Option key as you click and drag down. This will make a copy of our two-color artboard. Let's zoom out so I can see it. And let's rename this as One Color. Hit Return. We can then use our Selection tool and let's highlight all of the artwork on this third layer. We can go into our Layers panel. Let's create a new layer. And with everything still selected, click on the little red indicator and drag up. And that will pull the artwork from layer 2 into this third layer. And let's double click and rename layer 3 as One Color Logo. Now we've got a one color artboard, a one color layer. Let's convert our artwork into one color as well. The quickest and easiest way to do this is to choose your direct selection tool. I'm going to use my white arrow. Click on the lemon, and in your Appearance panel, change the stroke color to be black, Let's give it a 1-point outline, a 2-point outline. And let's change our fill color to be none. And there we have it. We've reached the end of stage 3. Let's go to File and let's save this document.